We are entering very important days into Manchester United's pursuit of no other than Matheus Cunha. We all know it. We all seen it from Fabrizio Romano. We are expecting a here we go. And here we go to say to Mick Ruby and this channel, MUFC Realist TV, I am back. I'm a little bit rusty. The screens is not that good, but I'm back in my normal setting. You haven't seen me live for 3 weeks. I've been out traveling. I've been exploring the world. I've been doing a documentary, and it's taking off the better of me. But here I am, and dying to speak to you about what else is going on. Liam Delap, apparently Man United, has been leaking out to David Ornstein and Fabrizio Romano to say that he is the preferred target. But what is it? What is it? Is it because it's cheap? Is it because it's Wilcox pushing for the deal? But we're also getting reports now, snippets to say that he is indecisive. He doesn't really know who he wants to choose, and he will wait his options because we are now reading that Chelsea is the front running for him as well, Delap, and also Newcastle's entered the race. So what is it? We have also fresh reports coming out for Transfer Live as well that Man United are lining up targets like Gyökeres as well and Osimhen. What is this? This transfer window is making me mad because we know that we are going for players that has a release clause. We're going to talk about who is the secondary striker if we don't land Delap, by the way. It's Mateta, it's Osimhen, it's Gyökeres. It's transfer window opening in 5 weeks. Guys, this is Mick Ruby. I'm back. Please do me a massive favor for this video and this community. Do me a favor. Smash the like button right here, right now. Subscribe if you're new, because that is what we live on. We don't take your money, but it's free content at the end of the day. Come on, let's do this. Smash that like button while we play this intro.
Let's go.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, let's go, people. I'm back, and it's not Bono, it's Mick Ruby. I know I might look like Bono. This is the new look. This is MUFC Realist TV. This is the fan community. We keep it real. We keep it like a level-headed debate. Of course, we're going to talk about yesterday's game as well in isolation. But of course, we have to talk about the transfer news today. So big up to everyone that's tuning in. I want to hear as much as engagement as possible for you. Get involved in the Q&A section as well. I created a poll for you to choose. Who do you think Man United will end up signing as the number 9? Will it be number 1, Delap? Will it be Mateta? Will it be Osimhen? Or will it be, at the end of the day, miraculous Victor Gyökeres? Why Victor Gyökeres? Nobody's really talking about it. And there is one thing that was mentioned, that Ruben Amorim, if there was one player he wanted to Man United, was Victor Gyökeres. Now, everything is falling down on Thursday, 2 legs, Real Bilbao or Atletico Bilbao or whatever they call Bilbao. You know what I'm talking about. Thursday is the game where we going there. It's going to be a tough one, basically, because they are a very, very solid defensive team. Only conceded 25 goals in La Liga so far. But however, they do have question marks regarding the lead striker, the goal scorer that is out injured, and also Nico Williams that we know. And here on this channel, we're going to talk about the game from yesterday, 1-1 Bournemouth. And I see a lot of my neighboring channels saying this was lucky, this was this, a lot of disappointment. And there's been some criticism on Rasmus Hojlund, some tweets where he tweeted out to say, like, we won this game and I needed this. And there's been some arrogant comments from some stupid fan base to say, oh, well, look at you, right? Look at you. But at the end of the day, you want Rasmus Hojlund to score. He hasn't scored for 20 Premier League goals, and this is good for Rasmus Hojlund for his confidence, because guess what? We don't have anyone to score the goals on Thursday, so what are you on about? What are you smoking anyway? I want to hear from your thoughts and feelings regarding that. We're going to cover that story as well. excuse me if I'm waffling. I'm a little bit nervous, a little bit rusty since I haven't been live for 4 weeks or 3 weeks, something like that. I was live with Jarvis yesterday and, gave him a little bit of a warm up. So if you haven't seen it, go check out and support Jarvis's Cocker, my wingman, the Tactical Devils as well. At the end of the day, let's crack on to the show, shall we? Let's do this. Well, let's start about Matheus Cunha. 100% Matheus Cunha. This is revolutionary, in my opinion. When was the last time we saw Manchester United do something early? I mean, we're not even entering in May, and we potentially have a here we go. This is solidifying. We are entering into the important days for Manchester United pursuit of Matheus Cunha. United really believe they can close this deal very soon, according to Fabrizio Romano. Fabrizio Romano has been banging on the drum. Ons has been banging on the drum, expecting here we go very soon. There is a release clause, but when there is a release clause, all Man United do is have to actually convince Cunha, and Cunha wants Manchester United. Whatever the wages will be, we don't know. We don't care. We need Cunha in this team. I know some of the people in my group chats, they don't really fancy Cunha, but listen, he scored 15 goals so far, right? He's the leading Brazilian goal scorer ever, in line with, I can't remember who it was, but this is a transformative signing. Why? As a number 10, he can also play as a midfielder, but he's such a good driver of the ball. That's what we've been lacking. Intensity, creating spaces, creating goal opportunities, shooting outside the box. But I get a little bit of shivers to my spine that, is this a signing that, Wilcox are seeing him? Well, if we don't get a number 9, he can play as a number 9. Yeah, he potentially could play as a number 9, but that is not his strength. So why should we just shoehorn him into the number 9 position? Cunha, for me, is a transformative signing who will play as a left side number 10 or play more of a deep lining, creator, driving the ball from the deep. Anyway, so this is the one that we're waiting for, and potentially we can hear, here we go. Apparently, there's also some rumors to say that there is a medical booked in at Carrington. I keep hearing on the grapevine for Wednesday. Could this be Cunha? Could this be? We don't know. But we've seen Chelsea do it. Yeah, they scheduled medicals before, like, in the middle of, May for certain players. And all of a sudden, as soon as the transfer window was open, bam, they announced it. But the thing is, I believe that Man United will do this deal regarding Cunha, regarding payments. I think that the payment will be buy now, pay later, because we know that the PSR financial year starts as 1st of July. So in principle, you can do this deal, but the first installment would be on the new financial year, which is 1st of July. But it doesn't stop us to announce it, right? That doesn't affect the PSR. It's the actually first installment. So big up for everyone that's tuning in. Let me go into the chat and see what you guys are thinking. I'm going to take off my Bono glasses, by the way, which is big up Jordan Walls from Sweden. Big up for you, my Swedish brother, saying, bring me Gyökeres. Yes, Jordan, I agree with you. Listen, Amorim needs to, put his cojones to the table here. No more P-platers. We tried this with Rasmus Hojlund. I don't want another P-plater. I rate Delap, but he's not the answer for what we need now. I get this project that we want to sort of invest in the up-and-coming Mbappes and all that stuff. But as a fans, we lost the faith. We lost the patience. And this ownership needs to look at what Amorim really, really needs. So I agree with you. So why would you neglect, Gyökeres, who is 26, 27, and Osimhen, who is goal-scoring machines, proven goal scorers, right? I'm going to take to my theory as well why I think that there's been snippets out from the club to Fabrizio Romano and Ornstein, which I believe is a PR mouthpieces to get the first snippets of story from the club to say, I think it's more of a diversion, right? To lower down the expectations of the fans at the end of the day. So my opinion is my theory, right? I'm not saying it's correct. I'm just thinking that, hang on a second, Delap is a 30 million release clause confirmed, right? And we seem to go for players that has a release clause that we can negotiate, potentially give 5 or 3, 4 million more so we can split it up in amortization 5 installments. But however, why would you neglect Osimhen? There was a report saying that, oh, well, potentially he's only coming for a paycheck. He's got a bad attitude, XYZ. That's why Premier League players are not, and Premier League clubs are not going for him. Saudi is the most likely, destination for him to go. Yes, sure, if you are for money, but Osimhen, in my opinion, he's still young. He's still 26. Why would you go for Saudi for a paycheck? It's clearly also reported that he wants to come to Premier League. He's eager to join any Premier League club. We know that Chelsea almost landed in let's say in January window, but that deal didn't happen, right? So I keep my cards open. I wouldn't close the deal, and I'm going to run a report later on what's been tweeted out also from Transfer Live as well. But in my opinion, we know that Matheus Cunha is one of our first signings here as well. So big up Robert as well. What you're saying, Robert, we are tired of hearing about fake news. 100%, man. I'm just not here to give you fake news. I'm just reporting what it's out there, Robert. And as a community, we discuss, And Neil Driscoll said, I don't want Delap anyway. I hear you, Neil. Like, if it was Delap and nobody else, I had to back it, right? I have to back it because I have to look at it, how are we actually building this squad? If you add on Matheus Cunha, right? He scored 15 goals. Delap, 15 goals. That is 30 goals. Man United scored 37 goals so far in the Premier League, right? Those in between, there's no guarantee, but they can score 30 goals. And then you add on the firepower of Garnacho, if he's still in the club. You add on the firepower of Xerxes, of potentially Amadialo, Bruno. And all of a sudden, we're looking at 70, 75 goals in between, spread out. But however, this is just... Nobody really knows what's going to happen next season. Triple M in the house. Big up South Africa. I wouldn't mind one of the victors. Mate, you speak my language. Have you been into my Spotify playlist? I sing exactly the same hymn sheet as what you do. Without you, like, Bono. Like, without you, I can't live without you. But I certainly cannot accept Man United to go for mediocrity, like, to go for another P playlist, learning on the job. Gordon, big up Gordon, how you doing? Guys, I love you for coming back into my community. Sorry, I do have to apologize for being away. Like, it feels like I divorced you, but I'm back. Gordon McNee, I don't want to pay a striker more than 250k per week if we can be avoided. Would rather have Jonathan David on a free. But you know what? It's sickening. Why is nobody being linked to Jonathan David? And by the way, it's not a free. Jonathan David would not be a free. It would be something in the north of 25 million to 30 million euros with the sign-on fee, the agent fee, XYZ. But still, that is a cheap alternative. But why is nobody going in for it? I think that at the end of the day, Aston Villa, they love this kind of signings. Potentially, Aston Villa will get him, right? Because Rashford would probably not likely to stay at Villa. And yeah, Rashford is out for hammy for the rest of the season as well. So big up Rashford for putting on display at Aston Villa for the resale value of you as well. Well back, Mick. Thank you so much. Stephanie Griffith is in the house as well. Big up the loyal Stephanie Griffith. Vote, like, subscribe. Yeah. And there's a poll going as well. So I want you to get involved regarding that as well. Big up Mick and VR Room. Thank you. Lee Parker, with what you're saying. We need Delap and Gyökeres. We need both. Let's be greedy, right? I'm going to go back to Gordon, what you say here. Like, you know what? At the end of the day, Gordon, like, what do we care as fans? Are we the accountants of this club? Big question mark. Are we? Are we the sporting? I don't give a rat's ass how much we're playing. Since when are we fans looking at how much we are going to pay in wages? This has been going on for the last years, and everyone is now educated regarding PSR, FFP, and all that stuff. We're looking, no, 250k a week. That's too much. But nobody's talking about how you're going to balance the books. Surely you got to have a balance. Like, some players are worth 250, some players are worth 150. So it's a balancing of the books, right? I wouldn't give a shit if we're playing 250k a week for Osimhen or Gyökeres, to be honest, because the return on investment is goals, guaranteed goals. Like, okay, could you argue to the point that, yeah, well, hang on, Osimhen has never played in the Premier League, but he's proven, man. He's proven. He is, in my opinion, the all-round striker that is good in the air, has a good head. Man, this guy is explosive. He scores insane goals. Liam Delap, in certain ways, the only weakness with Liam Delap is he's not good at the head at all. He doesn't score any headers. So what good is that for us? Like, if you put in a cross in the box and you don't put your head to it, man, it's a wasted opportunity at the end of the day. Let me see what you're saying here. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you. Welcome back. Welcome back to you as well. Thank you for tuning in. Compost Murph. What you saying, Compost? Isn't it this from last week? Yo, it is from this week, man. It was posted a couple of hours ago. But anyway, I just want to sort of take this opportunity to sort of greet everyone back as well. Like, Gary's in the house. Evening, folks. Evening to you, Gary. Danny B is in the house. We have so many legends in the house. The Vuganator Osimhen is what you want and need right now. Delap is for the future, according to my opinion. So, yeah, if we miraculously win Europa League, guys, it's a big if, right? It's a big if. That means that we have 100 million. That means that we can afford to go to Harold's instead of going to Tesco's. You feel me, right? Right now, it feels like we are shopping at Tesco's, right? We're looking at the cheap. Well, I want Weetabix, which is the original brand, but we take Tesco's Weetabix because it's cheaper, right? Surely. Pick up Jarl and Malmin as well. We cannot get Delap. What you're saying, if we can't not get up, I would go for another power forward like Sesko. Yeah, we tried Sesko before, but I think Arsenal is all over that deal as well. Delisa is in the house as well. Big up Delisa first. Juan Cunha, Edison, Gurkers, Kirkus, De Jong, Nico Williams. Oh my God, you are absolutely making me wet. That's what she said. Sorry for using that language. It's if you have kids watching, put them to sleep, because sometimes I do have a little bit of a Tourette's slipping up those words. This is how we roll on this channel anyway. George Banda, big up. George Banda, what are you saying? Osimhen is the striker we need, not Delap. Let's dive right into that story, guys. Let's go right into the transfer news live to say that Man United will look to sign Crystal Palace's striker Jean Phillipe Mateta if they're unable to win the race for Ipswich Town's Liam Delap. This is coming from Give Me Shit, or actually Give Me Sport. United fans, who would you rather sign, Delap or Mateta? Guys, we have a poll running. Get your votes in there, because you know what? Mateta is not a bad shout, but again, we are getting Premier League proven players. Is that what, Ineos wants? Is that what they don't really want? Somebody's not Premier League proven, but guess what? Chris is Premier League proven, but he didn't do well when he was here in Championship and in Premier League. But who made him? Who actually made him the goal scorer that he is today? Ta-da! Drum roll. Spoiler alert. It's our manager. It is definitely Ruben Amorim that made him, right? 2 seasons in a row, golden boot. Man. And he's available for 65 million, 63 million release clause. It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. So, Ruben Amorim, put your bollocks down, put that on the table, go to Wilcox and say, listen, I do understand the path that you want to go. You want to buy resale values, youngsters, but I need to win now. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry that's been watching Manchester United this season knows that we need a proven goal scorer, right? So I don't believe one single word what's coming out there from. I believe that Ornstein gets the first snippets from the club. They feed it to Ornstein, and Ornstein gets the sort of privilege to break it together with Fabrizio Romano. And it was actually Ornstein to say that Manchester United are not really considering an Osimhen because of his wage demands, so blah, blah, blah. So basically, they're putting it up that they were out for Delap. But now reports saying that Delap is uncertain in his choices. Because guess what? All of a sudden, you're a single man, you're attracted, you've been relegated, you go out to the pub, that, Chelsea is looking at you, that Man United is looking at you, that Newcastle is looking at you, there's plenty of Premier League clubs looking at you, your ego is spreading out, and you're not going to choose. And then he goes like, well, I want to play in, Champions League. Well, Man United is not in Champions League at the moment, but I'm looking at Liam Delap and say, you're Pratt. Did you ever play in any of Europa competitions? No, you didn't. So what is this? Yeah? What is this? Make up your mind. Manchester United is the biggest club in the world. But no, he wants to wait, and rightfully so. But I don't think it will be a 30 million. It will rise up to 45 million easily, 50 million pounds easily. Because there's going to be some add-ons included. It's going to be agents' fees. It's going to be X, Y, Z. So it's not really going to be 30 million. So why go for this one? Because Mateta is reported to go for 40, 50 as well, Crystal Palace. It's not a bad shout, but is this the answer what we need? or is it just media spin? Give Me Sport, of course, so credible, lukewarm. I know that Fabrizio Romano works for Give Me Sport, does podcasts and articles, but at the end of the day, guys, what are you saying, guys? What are you saying? Would you take Mateta? We did create a poll. Jarleman instantly says, "Oh no! This news is from Transfer New Live. This is non-story. 95% of what gets put up on there is Twitter BS stories. Yes, but it's coming out from Give Me Sports at the end of the day, which is the source, Jarle. I hear you. Rob Taffy's in the house. Big up, Rob Taffy. It's been a while. How you doing, my friend? Osimhen is the striker this team needs. Man, all of you is saying that, including me. Everyone that has a footballing eye can see that Rasmus Hojlund is falling off his ass. He's Bambi on ice. So what should we do with the broken Rasmus? I say that he's still a good striker in Rasmus, but guess what? If we are getting a more better version than Rasmus, then send him out on loan, because if we sell him now, we will take an L. I don't believe that the club will take a punt and sell him for a loss. So I believe that they're going to, spoken about this with Jarvis the other day, because Man United is heavily linked with another midfielder, which is Edison, which is a number 8, not AD playing number 6. So there's been heavily reports as well, including from, Rushmano as well, which is very credible as well, a good friend of the channel, to say that, guess what? Atalanta would like to do the deal, 40 million for Edison, but also willing to take back Rasmus Hojlund for a seasonal loan. I said, go for it. 100% go for it, man. This is what we need. We need sort of athleticism. We need engine in that midfield, because that's what we've been lacking, right? Adding Kobbie Mainoo into that midfield, Kobbie Mainoo is, for me, in Cody's my opinion, more as a number 10, somebody in tight spaces. But when it comes to running and legs, that is what is lacking. We need somebody like Edison, who has an engine and a half that can run like a Duracell bunny up and down that pitch, being that sort of to maintain the pressure while we are pressuring the opponent and the half, win back the ball early like Fred used to do. But then you have a double pivot with him and Ugarte. And Ugarte is more of the destroyer to sort of prevent, any balls leaking forward for the defense. So this is a signing that I would do. And I would send, Rasmus Hojlund on a seasonal loan, and see how we go. Anyway, the chat is popping. Let's see. How about Mbueno? Yes, we are linked to him as well. That's cheap. Mbueno is cheap. But I think that they want 70 million for it, Rajat. They're not mugs, And another club which is mugs, man, which is absolutely irritating, in my opinion. It is, what's his name? Diblin, right? Southampton relegated. They want 100 million for Diblin. What are you smoking? 100 million from Diblin. Look, if Southampton can take 100 million for Diblin, Man United could easily take 100 million for Garnacho to, if Conte comes and say, I want Garnacho, give me Garnacho. Okay, 100 million. On what value? Okay, listen. He's more proven than Diblin. He's been starting 2-3 years in a row and scoring lots of goals. Diblin had one season, and Southampton is valuating 100. Take it or leave it. You know what? Because I don't want to see Garnacho go. I see there is development in Garnacho. Ruben Amorim wants him. Ruben Amorim also sees it. But, we know Ineos, they need to sell to buy as well. So if they get a good price for Garnacho or Kobbie Mainoo, if it's 70 million pounds plus, I'm sure they will do the deal. Let me know in the chat what you think as well. Let me just maintain this chat dynamics. Jordan, what you're saying, Jordan from Sweden, Gyökeres would take United to another level. 100%, man. That it will be the cherry on the top, together with either Gyökeres or Osimhen would definitely drive us 20 goal minimum, right? Minimum. You say, Stephanie saying, I'm surprised Gyökeres already won't choose United, if not in United Champions League. Surely he wants to play for Amorim again. 100%, man, rather than Mateta. There's been very, very hush-hush regarding, Gyökeres lately, right? We know that Mateta, who never wants to sign a striker, they got a new sporting director. They have several targets, which is Gyökeres is on the target list. Sesko is on the target list. I think that Delap was also on the target list, but also Benjamin. Who else was it? They also wanted to pay 115 for Newcastle's Swedish striker Isaac as well. So we see how that will pan out. But at the end of the day, guys, we're going to transform over to the main story of today. Yeah, Sadiq, I hear you. Like, I hear you. You like Osimhen too. Majority of you guys wants Osimhen. I can see that. You know what I mean? Yale are, what you saying, Yale? Garnacho form thought tough has made him a 45-minute player. 70 plus changes this season and only converting 6% kind of destroys our value. Yeah, true, man. But you don't just look at the player for one season. Like one season won't make a summer. If you know, you know, right? He's been adapting to the 3-4-3 system. His confidence has been low. His decision making can be coached. But I agree what you're saying at the end of the day, man. Like I agree, it's been tough for him, but he's been improving in the past couple of games. I mean, if we're going to speak about, the Bournemouth game, I thought he was almost the man of the match. Like, he was the most likely to score, right? He was the only one driving with the ball, creating threats, almost scoring goals. Yeah. So Rajat, come on, give me a break. Harry Kane on 32, 33, he's washed away. That is old news. I don't want him. Or even a Vardy or Rob Tuff. What you're saying here. I believe we keep Hojlund for another season as a number 2. Dude, that would be something, right? There is something what we need, and that is something what our striking force need, guys. And let us be real. Let's have this conversation regarding Rob Tuff, what you're saying here. Who has our strikers been leaning or been mentored by? Nobody, right? There's literally nobody that is older than 22 in the striker force. We know that Hojlund was never supposed to play as the leading striker. That summer, we were supposed to recruit Harry Kane. Levy didn't want to sell us to us. He sold him to Bayern. And we ended up only getting Rasmus Hojlund. And he's been carrying the burden, trying to sort of develop, if you look at his trajectory as a pro footballer, like he wasn't ready. He wasn't ready. He was not even a regular starter at Atalanta, 3/4 of a season, man. Yeah. So I believe that he's still a player, and I agree what you're saying here. If you're going to be reasonable, right? Very much reasonable. But I'm not on a Hojlund's camp. What I've seen this season, I've since been dog shit, right? We're rightfully so to criticize performance on the pitch. But if we look at what fans are saying online, which is absolutely crazy, you kind of wonder what's wrong with you people, right? Why are you acting like this? Yeah. Let's add this to the stage, guys. I reacted to this the other day. Rasmus Hojlund via Instagram. We wanted the win, but I needed that. You know how much pelters this tweet's got? So what is he saying here? Yeah, we wanted the win, but I needed it. I needed that as a confidence because everyone was saying that, yeah, we need Rasmus Hojlund to score. We feel sorry for Rasmus if he only scores. And now when he scores, some idiots here, let me just display the comments, mate. Just have a look at it. You'd be absolutely shocked, right? So look at the ego low, all for disability worse than Bebe. And Rasmus isn't the only one. Entire team is filled with players with galaxy-sized egos. And I just responded to this tweet. What's wrong with the striker saying, I need this goal for confidence? Seriously, guy. Fan base has been saying this. We need Rasmus to start scoring. And when it does, it doesn't fit your narrative. It baffles me, right? Beggars cannot be choosers. We need Rasmus to start scoring goals for Europe. Because guess what, guys? We don't have a number 9 against Bilbao. He's our only outlet. So it beats me, And there is some other people fantastic, understands. Hopefully Hojlund can kick on from now. Because we desperately need him. But majority have been giving me shit, low mentality. We were still going to sell him. Man, these idiots, I'm just telling you, I'm not going to name and shame, but I'm just going man, use your common sense, what you wish for. Be careful what you wish for, right? Same people are the ones that say, sack Amorim, but give me, please, Cunha. But forgetting that Cunha is actually an Amorim signing. Make it make sense, peeps. I'm absolutely shitting my pants here. But what you guys are saying, Give Hojlund time, what Sadek is saying. Hojlund is the only 21, 22. Yeah, leave him alone. He's 22, man. You know what? It was good to see Rasmus score. And I echo that. Like, you know, I was celebrating his goal. I saw how he was celebrated. It was like a massive bamboozle of a, you know, this massive stone falling off his chest and his shoulders, and the way he celebrated. You know what? Why couldn't we celebrate with him? You know how much this means for a striker that's been goalless, right? You know how it does for your confidence. And of course, he's 22. He's that era of social media. Of course, he reads social media. Of course, it's going to affect him, right? The pressure is on, right? So give him a little bit of a slack, please. I know we've been very critical because, yeah, we need to blame somebody in this team. If we're not scoring goals, then, yeah, it's been the Manchester United fan base tradition to, yeah, find the, you know, the next McFred, you know. We just have to pick on somebody. And this season, it's been Hojlund. We've been picking on Hojlund, poor lad. Or some people are saying Dorgo is shit. Dorgo, we should never sign him. But wait a minute, he's only 20. They're only youngsters. They've been in the club 5 minutes. They need time to develop at the end of the day. But my point is, when it comes to the development, right? This is what scares me with Wilcox coming in here running the show as a technical director / sporting director with Vivel and Omar Barada. They're looking at, oh, we will need to recruit development players with resale value. Since when have Manchester United developed players? I mean, ask yourself the question. Go back with that same question to Wilcox. We need ready-made players and potentially integrate youth, the academy players, into the first team. But give me one player that's been developed for the past 10 years under current regimes. Nobody. Everyone has regressed instead of progressed because we don't develop them. So what proof do you have, Wilcox, that this will work? Yeah? You know, getting Delap, oh, we will develop him to be the next Harry Kane. That is a pipe dream, man. That is a pipe dream. And that's why I'm saying, that's why most of you in this chat saying you want Gyökeres or Osimhen. Mr. Puka is saying the same thing. But I am like you, Yoli. Dorgo has been good. People have a short memory span like Finding Nemo, like Doris. You know Doris. Keep on swimming, swimming, swimming. Just keep on swimming that way. But it's so popular to actually go into young players. And I just believe it's down to the people above that destroyed the club, made this fan base very, very much impatient. They clearly need to see the forest from the trees, in my opinion. Stephanie coming into defense at Hojlund, 25 goals in 89 games. Garnacho, 25 goals in 138 games for United. Colin, big up Colin Albert as well. Big up Delap will be another Rasmus Hojlund in Man United. I prefer Victor Osimhen. And that is the fear. That is the fear factor that I have, right, Collins? You know what? That's what I said. Since when have we seen Man United getting a young player and made him to something? Cristiano Ronaldo potentially, but that was under Sir Alex Ferguson, right? I have no confidence that we will get Delap and he will be developed. And what they say, well, we're not here to recruit the Mbappe. We are here to make the next Mbappe, Sir Jim Ratcliffe. You know what? Because it's cheap. It's cheap. That's the only reason. And then Wilcox say, well, I used to work with him in Man City's academy. I know him. Sure. But what is there for guarantees? Any transfer signing is a 50-50. We know that. You can sign Gyökeres. You can sign Osimhen. But it can also be a flop. But depends on what you do in any walk of life when you start a new job, right? You could be recruited. You're a perfect fit for the job. But what happens after when you join is something called learning and development. HR will take care of it. We haven't seen that because we haven't had it in place. We just sink or swim. Here you go. Without any life vest, we throw you into the deep end and you sink. That's Man United for you. And fuck you, Scousers, for winning the league. We are now equally. I agree what you're saying, Stephanie. And Liverpool don't have a centre-forward goal scorer, but they have Salah, so we don't need one. True. Now that's what worries me. That is Man United doing this on the cheap? Will it be just Cunha? Are they thinking like, well, Cunha is a multifaceted player. He can play as a number 10 and number 9. And here you go. It's a happy meal. I'm afraid that it might be so if you look at the finances, right? Dennis, big up, Dennis, what you're saying here. Bother, I think the club is real danger of just fading into nothingness. Me too, man. We are the paper tiger, the giant that we have sunken to the abyss. But I believe we will rise up again. And I'm willing to... I've spoken on numerous other people's podcasts. I don't understand why people are going in on Amarin. I know it's been shocking, the results, but it's not his fault, right? It's the people above, But this is the season. This is the transfer window where they have to get it right. They have to back him. And I believe in all this cost-cutting that's been going around the club, the ticketing prices, getting rid of Sir Alex Ferguson's wages and all that stuff, they have to remedy themselves. Redemption now in the transfer window. So we don't really know what's going on. We keep getting snippets from the media. Is it smoke without any fire? Is it spin, spin, spin? One thing is for sure is we are definitely getting, by the looks of it, Cunha. It's going to be here we go soon. Anyway, man, Rasta Sox, big up my friend Mick. It's hard to see those Scousers tied with us. Listen, after the 1-1 draw yesterday, I'm going to tell you the story, right? I switched off the TV. I took a walk because I knew that Liverpool versus Spurs was on. It was, if they win against Spurs, that's them claiming the title equally and 20 titles, same as us. I didn't want to watch it, right? But at the same time, you cannot avoid the inevitable. Scouse has been the best team this season. But if I look at who actually won it for them, I would say it's Jurgen Klopp. Why? Well, Jurgen Klopp built this team for the past 9 years. He decided to retire. So FSG just went and recruited in a manager that has the same characteristics, that plays the same style of football. All he had to do is plug and play. A ready-made squad formed by Jurgen Klopp. So if you got to be fair, you got to give equal credits to Klopp as to Slot, right? But I will then be interested to see what Slop's going to do next year, because FSG has a tendency not to back the manager. They become fat and happy. They won the COVID Cup. The only time they won, I think the title 19 when there was no fans in the stadium. But what did FSG do? Did they do anything? No, they didn't. Right. So come and talk to me, Scouser, when you win a back-to-back. And for me, this was pretty much a plug and play from Klopp, from Slot, yeah. But big up Slot as well. On his sort of debut season. But you got to talk about who made. It's like a 400-meter relay, right? Klopp did all this 300-meter running, and he just handed over the stick over to Slot just to run it in, easy tapping. You know what I mean? Anyway, guys, we're going to come into the final story. Big up to you, Yolam. I mean, Jim put in 100 million to the club. Reason why we can't get him in this money. Put on tariffs, man. Let's call in Trump. Let's put in tariffs. Tariffs. Main story of today, again, this is what we are tuned in for. This is coming from Tutto Juve. This is now brewing as well. And this is now retweeted again and retweeted. I take it with a pinch of salt, but it makes a little bit of sense, guys. If Delap, if Man United think they can get him, right? They are knowing that Chelsea is coming in. They know they're going to lose the race if Chelsea really goes for it, which is weird fetish from Chelsea. Chelsea don't have their own transfer scouts or policy. They just look at carbon copy what Manchester United copy paste. That's what they do. Whatever Manchester United wants, they're going to get. Right? We wanted, what's his name? The right wing back, Quenda. Yeah, he was nailed on. What does Chelsea do? They're going to snatch him. He's not going to join this season, but next season after. They just simply don't want Man United to have the talents. And what for? They have a bus full of. They can't even fit the whole first team place into the one team bus. Yeah. Anyway, big up. I'm gonna go straight into this story. Okay, take it with a pinch of salt. Take it. Let's go. And let me just enlarge this as well. Enlarge. And you be the judge and the jury. Okay, can you see this? Breaking news, Manchester United are reportedly ready to pay the 64 million release clause in Victor Osimhen's contract at Napoli. They want to pair him with Matheus Cunha next season. Okay, thoughts? I repeat again. This is coming out from Tutto Juve, Italian. Now, multiple aggregators are reporting that Transfer News Live was the one that sort of picked it up. But why wouldn't it make sense? Ask yourself the question. Surely Osimhen and Gyökeres needs to be on that list of potential strikers. You cannot neglect the two best goal scorers going for 64 million this summer. And you're willing to pay 50 for Mateta, 70 for Mombueno, 30 release clause plus for Delap. And it's no uncertainty that he's going to join Man United. So I think that this is Manchester United lining up the ducks in order. I believe that Delap is the preferred striker target because of development and he's cheaper. But on that pecking order, they surely need to go to look at Osimhen and Gyökeres. So I think that this is just scratching on the surface. You know what I mean? But what is your thoughts and feelings regarding this? What do you think? I mean, this is just me applying my logic and reasoning. You know, if I am the sporting director, surely I'm not bloody blind. I would be sacked if I don't put Gyökeres or Osimhen on that, striker list. If you look at Europe at the moment, it's a drought. There's not many strikers around, and there's so many clubs looking for a striker. Seriously. On that note, I'm going to go and see what you guys have voted in the poll. The poll was, who do you think will end up being the striker for Man United at the end of the window? We had Delap, we had Mateta, we had Osimhen, and we had Gyökeres. Let me see what the poll is. Hang on, bear with me. I'm going to close the poll. And guys, I end the poll now. Believe me or not, guess who is the winner? Victor Osimhen, 49%, followed by Gyökeres, 24%, Delap only 22%, and Mateta 5%. That speaks volume. Thank you for voting. We had 87 votes, and do not be a stranger here. Please finger that like button. That is the currency that we YouTubers live on. Just smash that like button while you're watching. We are currently on 37 likes only. And there's 480 viewers. Do the maths, please. Do the maths. Don't be lazy. Smash that like button right here, right now. Let's get it up to a minimum 100 likes, please. Because I've been away, but there's 480 watching on YouTube at the moment. If we can get that up, I will crack a joke. I would definitely crack a joke. And this joke you will like. Anyway, I'm ending the poll, and that speaks volume what you guys want. Most of you said Osimhen. Osimhen is the leader. Definitely. I'm going to finish off by seeing what you guys are saying. And Luman is in the house. Big up, Luman. I haven't seen you for ages as well. Yeah. Give a credit to Pep. For what? Luman, can you elaborate? Pep? Sure, Pep built his squad, but Pep also invested heavily in the January window. And what did he finish, right? Surely. And what's going on with City at the end of the day? City is now in the final in the FA Cup, but what about the verdict? When are we going to hear something about the verdict? What if City goes and win the whole FA Cup? And they get stripped away everything? What's the point? What's going on there, right? We don't hear anything at the moment. It's dead silence, but everyone knows that is a verdict incoming soon. Luman, what you're saying here furthermore, does that mean that Chelsea have more pulling power than Man United? I don't know, man. Chelsea just goes with silly contracts, right? They offer 8 years contract. They just go, I don't know, man, what they're doing. I don't know. It's a weird project, that one, Chelsea. But there is some transfer rivalry between Man United and Chelsea. We can clearly see that, right? You know what I mean? So if they go for Delap, it's more of their youth policy, right? If I'm Delap fan looking at, okay, who is after me? Okay, Man United, there's Chelsea, there's Newcastle. As a player, I'm going to ask myself, first question I'm going to ask myself, I play the game, so I know. I can say, which club is going to give me minutes? Right? Because as a football, I want to play football. I don't want to sit on the bench. Surely, you go to Newcastle, you're going to sit on the bench because they're going to start Isak, right? You go to Chelsea, they have Jackson. You're going to sit as a bench as well. Or you might fight for the place they might convince you to say, well, if you sit here and you fight for your place, you might be the number one starter. Or you go to Man United, which you know that you're going to walk into that first team and get minutes because Rasmus Hojlund has not been good enough. And surely the pulling power of Man United and the project, I want players that are interested in the project, just not for the paycheck. So that's going to be very interesting with Osimhen, because reports saying that he wanted 300k a week. Man United will probably pay him 250k a week with bonuses. And he demands, I think he demanded 12 million a yearly salary. But it is definitely retainable, right? Everything can be balanced at the end of the day. You know, if we're going to speak about finances, you have to balance out the wage book, right? If you get rid of Casemiro, Rashford, 300, 350k a week, surely you can put on Osimhen there, which is arguably one of the best strikers in the world, right? On 250, right? Rashford's getting 350. You get Osimhen 250. You save yourself 100 million. You know what I mean? So surely Man United can do this if you get the logic. Jarle, what you're saying here, Ornstein say no go for Aussie to United. So I believe that until they say something different. Yeah, but this is my theory. No go. This is what he's been hearing, right? There's two journalists that are constantly spot on when it comes to Man United because they get tier one information. They get information from the club. They are the preferred reporters to report out. Could it be like a diversion? Could it be? I believe it's a diversion. Also sending a message out to his agent as well. We will not take him for hostage. We're not going to pay you 350k a week, right? Piss off to Saudi. You know what I mean? Our preferred striker target is Delap. But now we're seeing the Delap is where's the confidence that we're going to land Delap? Yeah. So surely you got to have, if Delap fails, what you're going to do next? Surely you got to have a list of Osimhen, Gyökeres, Monbueno, Mateta, Hakuna Mateta. You know what I mean? So that is my logic. That is the way I see it, right? So that is my theory and my theory alone. So if you agree with me, yeah, you might say, Mick, what are you waffling about? What you smoking? Calm down. But we need Gyökeres for sure as well. I am baffled if we don't get him, right? There was one player that Ruben Amorim wanted to bring when he left Sporting. He made a promise that I would bring Gyökeres to the team. So I believe that this still is something in it, right? So Wilcox, get your hands off, You can pick anything else on the pitch, but don't touch the striker, because there's one thing with me and most of you guys agree on, according to the chat. We need a ready-made killer to finish the dinner. Anyway, big up for all of you for coming in. Jarle Malmin, big up for legends in the house. Stephanie Griffith, Reb Taff as well. 40 likes coming in. Okay, well, I will crack a joke, and then at the end of the day, because it's a bonus, guys. I couldn't stop laughing. You know my bad humor, right? I saw it on Instagram. I don't know. I like bad jokes, but it was sort of put in an Indian English dialect, so don't take me as a xenophobe, but I just love it. And it's like, what did the annoyed chicken said? Fuck off! It's like, this is my humor. Did you understand that one? What did the annoyed chicken say? Fuck off! So that's what I would say to Wilcox, take your hands off, fuck off, and get us the proven goal scorer that we need. Anyway, big up, people. Thank you for tuning in. This bit Mick Ruby back in the saddle. Sorry for the quality image. accidentally fucked up my Type C, so I'm ordering a new computer. Anyway, Mick and the jokes. Yeah, you're laughing at that. Fuck off. Cook off. Yes, I will crack more jokes next time, but I'll be back later on with Jarvis. Believe me, we are back, Mick and Jarvis. But we will be on Tactical Devils show tonight. I will be 9 p.m. UK time. Jarvis's Corner. Jarvis's Corner was born on this channel, but will be on Jarvis's channel, 9 p.m. on Tactical Devils. I'll be there. Until then, people, stay beautiful. Don't let the media fool you. As per usual, leave your comments in the box below. What do you think? I like to read your comments. At the end of the day, we are not the news. We're just speculating and applying our, humor to it and the way we roll. Anyway, big up for all of you. Thank you for coming. Jarvis's Corner it is. Thank you for watching. Glory, glory, Manchester United. Glazers out, Ratcliffe out, Bankers out, and Manchester United hopefully will rise back to the top sooner or later. See you to the next one. Bye for now. Bye-bye.